What's up guys, welcome to the Mobix game channel. If you want to know which games are coming out for which console and when, make sure you hit that subscribe button and hit the notification bell to get to the latest news. So let's go.
Ad Infinitum. Now, here we have a game in development and due out sometime in 2023. You see, Ad Infinitum is a survival horror game, of course. It comes with a focus on stealth elements, we heard, and some puzzle-solving elements, and it's all happening somewhat around World War I, which was a horrible time. This game is actually coming to consoles and also PCs. Here's a new trailer for the game. So alright, Dead Space is back. For those of you actually unfamiliar, this is a sci-fi horror classic game. One of the best, actually, one of the best games ever. Well, it's now once again coming to PlayStation 5, PCs and Xbox Series X. The only downside of all this actually is that it sounds like... Just make sure to stay tuned for any updates on this one. Dying Light 2 launches later this year, in fact December 7th. It's now coming to PCs, PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, and also last generation of consoles, which is great. For those of you who didn't know, it's one of the biggest games of this year, and if not the biggest, and probably a true sequel in every sense of the word, as you can see from the constant gameplays they're coming up with. Just in case you haven't actually played the first game, I strongly suggest you give it a shot. I mean, I personally finished the game once again myself, just a month ago again, and it was just as fun as it was the first time, if not even more.
We got company here.
That's great. Sorry about this.
What? Sorry about what?
About that. On behalf of all its whores, bandits, and idiots, I christen you a citizen of Villador. Fuck. You're about to turn. Get into the light fast.
Hello, Mr. Kellerman. I want to remind you about today's visit in our clinic.
So, Dark Moonlight has been announced for PCs only. It's a pretty much new indie game coming from Silent Bear Studios. It's a great studio, by the way. I would have to say right up the alley with any horror fan games out there, and I personally think it looks like it could be another horror game worth watching for. So the good news is they even said soon after its PC release, which we don't have a specific release it for, the game will then come to all other consoles as well, and who knows, maybe even Nintendo Switch. The Callisto Protocol, though, was actually shaping up to be the start of a brand new franchise, I would have to say, beyond just video games. It's coming straight from Dead Space's creator, Glenn Schofield, some of you probably already know. Right now, it's apparently in development for PCs, PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X only, for release sometime next year. And yes, as you can see, Dead Space vibes are still very much there. Just go ahead and make sure to stay tuned for a precise release date for this new masterpiece, I would have to say.
Something ain't right.
Please remain calm. There is nothing to fear.
No one there to guide you. No one there to assist you. No food. No water. You've got nothing to survive.
Abandoned. Now, this is another mystery title in development for PC and the PlayStation 5. Or maybe just it's PlayStation 5, I don't know, there's PC rumors to be specific. Abandoned actually has been one of the most talked about games this year, earlier, and there is some words that whatever Abandoned will turn out to be, we'll actually find out in the coming August, so just have a quick look.
Your end. But you will never accept this. You will fight for a way out.
If you've been waiting for an update for the dying game, Dying 1983 is actually now set for a eventual release on PCs and all consoles as well, and even Nintendo Switch. But when, I don't know, later this year maybe, it's possible. But I can tell you this, if you like your horror games with a set of puzzles, which is possibly one of the best combos in the gaming history ever, do look up Dying 1983 and stay tuned for a precise release date coming out in just a few months maybe. Probably one of the most popular horror games for mobile devices. Evil Nun, The Broken Mask, was said to be coming to Steam. Now, even completely redesigned with the new puzzles, scenarios, and of course graphics, obviously, as you can see. However, as was mentioned in past, we're not getting any updates for the game until it gets somewhere. However, the good news is, yes, developers went on and added a mid-2021 release for the game, just right up there in Steam, for the PCs only. Check it out. Moving on, we have End of Days, which is an open-world horror game, survival, of course. This game's set in the time where this virus, of course, did its thing with humanity, and you're supposed to, you know. I know this game focuses players to rebuild civilization, something like that, and even will have a PvP concept to it. Just check it out really quick and make sure to stay tuned for a release window for End of Days actually coming soon, we hear. Death of Rose. So last time they actually came up with a new trailer for this game. It stated that the game will come out in 2020. Well, that didn't happen, obviously, but There's now more news that will get a solid 2021 release date soon. Other than that, this game, Death of Rose, is an indie horror game in the same vein as Silent Hill series, due out apparently for PCs exclusively.
Typical scenario. Handsome guy goes into the spooky school alone while his friend is staying in the car.
The question is, who dies first? I saw a flashlight and I bet it's not yours. Someone is walking through the hall. I'm not fucking kidding.
Daymare 1994 Sandcastle is now in the works for the PlayStation 4, 5, all Xbox consoles and also PCs. Right now targeting a 2022 launch, possibly early 2022, you know. And as in the case of the game itself, it's a kind of a Resident Evil inspired survival horror kind of tribute of some sorts, and which you would get if you were familiar with already. But for those of you new, it has all the inventory system, riddles, and pretty much most other horror elements to it. Just make sure to have a look in case you've missed it. It's a good one. On the other hand, we also have Bunker Survival, which actually has all the characteristic mechanics of a survival game, shooters, and even RPGs, as developers have explained this and said it's definitely a game for fans of builder kind of type of games. No specific release date for Bunker Survival has been revealed, not even a release window. You can add the game to your wishlist on Steam right now and just hope for a late 2021 early access version of the game if it comes out. Check it out.
Straight by its shadowed past, taken up by its own secrets, whispers thicken the atmosphere.
And finally we have Saturnalia. Well, this one, as you could have guessed already, is a survival horror game. Expected to be released in possibly a few months? I don't know. Developers of which actually announced this game all the way back in October 2019. And that this game will take place in the year 1989 in Italy. We'll check it out really quick in case you have missed it, and enjoy.
Of the winter solstice, the birth of a new sun, the death of the past. Feast and revelry abide in unrepentant chaos. Masked abandon, animal ritual, a terpsichore of release and revelation. Release and revelation. All of us have secrets. Every one of us, an invisible world, a feint, an implication, the dance of haze and shadow, endless with silent stories tamped and shuddered and strangled within. How many are woven into the wretch and hollow of this island, the berm and crush of this town? How many secrets beset those who mill its lanes and sidle unhalted through the closing of an age? What were they to seek out and face the truth sunken into the stone of this town? What would they find? What will we find?